If you are new to using painting software, it's a good idea to search YouTube for painting tutorials. Briefly, painting software is very different to painting on a real canvas. Painting software involves painting many discrete parts on separate layers. These layers are merged together by the paint software to provide the final image. These layers can be grouped, enabled or disabled, and special effects can be applied. When making a custom iRacing car paint, we can create two files: a car paint and an optional spec map. Spec is short for specular. The specular effects are shininess or reflectivity and roughness. This video will only cover the car paint. Another video will cover the spec map. Here we have the iRacing Legends Ford 34 car template open in GIMP. The GIMP paint program is commonly used because it's free. On the right-hand side, in the Layers panel, we have three groups. The first group is the custom spec map. When painting the car and exporting the car paint, we need to ensure the custom spec map is not visible. There is no eye in the green box beside the custom spec map group, it is not visible. The next group is named Turn Off Before Exporting to TGA. This group is not part of the car paint. Instead, it contains useful visual aids that provide guidance and clarity when painting the car. When exporting the car paint, we need to ensure this layer is not visible. Let's open this group, turn on all the layers and go through the contents. The first layer is an official iRacing copyright image. We don't ever need to see this and can hide or delete it. The wire layer is very useful, you will rely heavily on this layer while painting the car. The wire layer shows the shape of the car and its contours. This helps us place stripes and decals in the correct location. Let's zoom in on a contour section. Whenever you see the wires curve like this, it means the surface is not flat. If you place a decal in this location, it will become distorted, due to being wrapped over a curve. The next layer is the mask. The mask area is where there is no content to be painted. The mask area also highlights the car body sections that we will be painting. The sponsor block locations show us where the sponsor advertising will be placed. Within the iRacing paint booth, users can select sponsor advertising, although very few people use this feature. If you want your car paint to work well with sponsor advertising, avoid putting decals in the sponsor overlay areas. Most car paints ignore the sponsor advertising. I would normally have this layer turned off. The next layer is the number block locations. This layer shows us where iRacing will apply car numbers to the car. We need to take this into account when painting the car to ensure the paint looks good on the track with numbers. We normally have this layer turned off so we can see the doors and roof when we are painting those areas. But at certain stages we turn this layer on to check if our content, like decals, is getting too close to the number area. Let's turn this layer off for now. The next layer is the car mandatory content. This layer shows what areas will be painted by iRacing. We have no control over the content in these areas. As such, we will avoid painting in these areas. The paintable area group contains the main content of our custom paint. The content within this group is what will be rendered on the car. You can change everything within this layer. Let's expand the paintable area and go through the contents. The car decal layer contains iRacing supplied decals. You can leave them in the paint or delete the layer and use your own decals. You can see they are placed in front of, and behind, the door. You can also see they do not overlap the car number area. These top-level layers are mostly transparent. That allows the patterns, stripes and base coat color to be seen, even though they are lower down the layer stack. Next is the doormat layer. It's unique to this car. This area beside the door that the driver stands on when getting in and out of the car. You can color this area as you see fit. The next layer, the frame bars, what are they? Let's duplicate this layer, make it a crazy color, export to TGA, then render it within the iRacing car viewer. Now we see the frame bars are the tubular bars at the front, rear and beside the doors. You can also see a tubular bar under the car behind the front wheel. Also note, the door hinges are part of this layer. That's a good find as we may want to give them a separate contrasting color or a metal look. We can now delete our temporary frame bars copy layer. Next is the pit box layer. This little box is where you apply the color you want to use on the toolbox in the pits. You can see the toolbox in the background on the left, it is blue as per the color in our little pit box. It's common to use the main color from the car for this, but you can use any color. Many cars have two pit box colors, the second color is for the roof of the tent over the pit box. Next is the roll bar color layer. This little box controls the color of the protective roll bars inside the car. The driver has the best view of these although the Mazda MX-5 has no roof, spectators can see the roll bars on that car. It's normal for people to have a contrasting color on the MX-5 roll bar. Let's do that to the Ford as an example. Select the roll bar color layer, use the flood fill tool to fill the roll bar color box with a different color. Now export to TGA and render it within the iRacing car viewer. You can see the bars inside the car are now yellow. The last layer is the main car body. It's mainly used as the base or background color of the car. We create layers above the main car body for stripes and patterns, etc. Note, when we use white as the base color, the wireframe will not be visible because it's also white. Let's make the base color white and then work through a solution to that problem. Select the main car body layer. Set the foreground color to white. Select the flood or bucket fill tool. Click on the background. Now we have a white car. Turning on the wireframe has no effect, because it's also white. Now select the wire layer. At the top of the screen, select the color menu, then the invert option. Now we can see the wireframe again. The last layer to discuss is the car patterns group. This group contains all the iRacing paint booth patterns for this car. Generally these are not useful, I tend to delete this group to reduce the size of the car template file. You may find some useful patterns or stripes within this group. Another video in this playlist demonstrates using channel selections to copy patterns or stripes. Let's delete the car patterns group. Let's create two new groups, miscellaneous and decals. Drag the miscellaneous content into the miscellaneous group and collapse it. Drag the car decal layer into the decal group and collapse it. Now we have a tidy and simple paintable area. The next step is to create your own paint content. Place your content above the main car body layer.